hate Eric Adams as much as the next person because he's a piece of shit. But even I didn't see this coming. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Eric Adams' campaign has been caught forging the signatures that you need to be an independent to run into the mayoral race. If you're not like the Democratic candidate, you need like, I think like 7,000 something signatures. This motherfucker's campaign forged most of them. So I think this is just proves why independent media is great, why journalism is so important, why investigative journalism is key, because this is how we found the story out. So shout out to the Gothamist. These are the people that worked on it. Shout out to every single one of them. They did a spectacular job. First signatures found on Mayor Adams' petitions to run as an independent. Like, can't get any better. Mayor Eric Adams' re-election campaign submitted fake and fraudulently obtained petition signatures in his effort to secure a spot on the November ballot as an independent candidate, a Gothamist investigation has found. Gothamist reviews signatures submitted from across New York City and found people who said their names were forged, as well as people who said they were deceived in the signing of the petitions. One of them, there were a few people that they had found that they forged were dead. Does that sound familiar? Sounds something Trump used to say. In all, Gothamists identified 52 signatures that were fraudulently obtained or outright forged, but thousands more have not been vetted. Verifying signatures is time-consuming work. For 2 weeks, 3 reporters knocked on more than 200 doors in 4 boroughs and interviewed more than 100 people. In some buildings, the majority of the people who we spoke with said their signatures had been forged. That's fucking insane. This is something I think we should also bring to light and kind of focus on, and this is why your local elections are just as important as main elections for this reason. Reviewing ballot petitions requires tedious, labor-intensive work, and it's one of the reasons they undergo little scrutiny. The Board of Elections is only required to certify whether candidates submitted a sufficient number of signatures, but it does not verify their authenticity. Here's the thing. If this had happened 10 years ago, it would have been an outrage. It would have been a true scandal. But this fact that this has not really been making waves proves how far back and how far we've come in politics, and it makes me sad. This should be a scandal. This should be a huge scandal. Forging signatures to get into a election, that's insane. But because Trump has just continuously put into people's minds that we shouldn't trust the election system, people started to believe it, even though we had some of the most safe and secure election, like voting booths and stuff like that. Here's the thing though, that was for like vice president, president, stuff like that, primaries. I don't really know how safe and secure it was for the local elections. Maybe it wasn't so safe, I'm not sure. But either way, we gotta tighten this shit up. This is unacceptable. Every single area in each election should have secure voting and secure ways of making sure that everything's authentic. There's no forgery, nothing like this happening. This quote, I think, proves why things really need to change and why not just in the federal government, but in state government and local government. It says, it was the state's job to prove fraud, not ours. This is in response to one of the people that the Adams campaign paid to go out and do their signatures. I guess they paid like $220,000 or something. But it's like, well, someone had to have written them down. Someone had to have done the signatures. So how the fuck did that happen? I hope people really start to hound Eric Adams, and to be completely honest, he should drop out of the race. This is completely unacceptable. You have to bring back legality. I don't give a fuck if we're currently under authoritarianism. You have to do shit when the time is right. And right now, there is a time to get someone who is literally doing fraud out of the local election. You fucking do it. He should be brought up on fraud charges too. We already know the motherfucker has plenty of experience with that. And of course he knew. Of course he knew about the fraud because there was multiple dead people's signatures. What was really sad is one person literally said that someone, a loved one, had signed for her, and she was like, that person died by suicide in like 1992. That's how bad this whole situation is, and that's why we need to hold Eric Adams accountable. So the Gothamist is so smart. Here are the names of the people that worked on the Adams campaign, that were in charge of the signatures, that they found some of them were forged. I think it's important that we also call these motherfuckers out, and they should also be brought up on fraud charges, considering that forging someone's signature, especially in regarding to a vote or regarding to anything political, I'm pretty sure that's a couple of years in jail. I don't know. They definitely need to be held accountable. This is just one of the many things on Eric Adams' list of why he's such a shit person. But I think it's important that the city of New York knows that this is another reason not to vote for this piece of shit. And go read the Gothamist article. I will link it below. Go support journalism because we wouldn't have known about this if it wasn't for them.